Hello, and welcome to Depth Perception. We discuss movies and dive into how films direct the way we experience them. We create a perception of sound, a perception of sight, with a dimension of mind. We move into a land of both shadow and substance, of themes and ideas. Once again, I'm Mr. Vozly, joined by Kmax.
I moved into a land of substance.
And the Tin Man.
We're back.
That's awesome.
Will we see if Tin Man got a heart?
It's a long day.
That would be a no. All right. Today's episode is brought to you by the 1991 movie Hook. Hook is our second of probably a few more Spielberg movie reviews in the long list of movies that we will review. It follows Robin Williams as Peter Banning as he tries to remember who he is and reconnect with his children in order to face off against his arch nemesis, Captain Hook. Captain Jas Hook. K-Max, do you know why he signed it Jas Hook? I didn't look it up, but Jas. I don't know what that is about.
I don't know.
So what I did look up and see is that it looks like it's just an abbreviation for James.
Okay.
That's what I was getting at.
I was going to ask a person named James, why do you sign it that way?
Yeah. Why are you so weird?
Why are all you the same?
Your first two letters and then the last letter. I don't know. Jas.
I wonder what his last name
What
is.
I saw was what I looked up was I forgot. Oh, it's way over there. But in some of the original writings, wherever it was, they mentioned him as James or Jas Hook.
Okay.
Don't know why. I think it might just be an abbreviation. Jim instead of Jim Hook.
Jas.
Jimothy.
Jas. The cat from a few years ago on the internet.
That's right.
Yes. Anyway.
And we're off.
So I was looking forward to this review. It probably should have been on my most influential movies list, but if I had to pick three at that point in time, those were the three I picked. You asked me on a different day, and this movie may have made that list. Before this viewing, what do you remember of this movie as a kid?
The music. As soon as the music kicked on, I recognized it right off the bat. Very distinct music. Very uplifting, very encompassing, very whatever scene was happening, it definitely brought it up to the next level with the music that was involved.
For sure.
Just little snippets in my head of the scenes. Nothing about the plot, per se. Like, I didn't remember how all the story worked out, but I still have in my head the images of a good chunk of the movie.
Yeah, I think that too, about like not so much plot or even a whole lot of character, but I remember being entertained throughout when I was younger watching it. Like just being absolutely hooked. You know what I mean? Just like right from the word go, like this is great. And like the acting, Robin Williams right from the start. Mm-hmm. And Dustin Hoffman. I thought he was hilarious then, and I thought he was even more funny now. Mm-hmm. Some of my perceptions changed greatly though, and I'll get to that when you ask that. Yeah.
Well, how old were you when you first watched this?
Gosh, let's see, probably 21.
Okay, so that'll be interesting because I watched this when I remember it, I was probably 6 or 7.
Oh man, I'm old.
What about you, Jim Man?
I don't know if I ever sat and really watched it straight through. Like, I remember seeing it on, and I remember there's nothing that I saw in the movie that I didn't recognize, so I must have seen the whole movie, but I don't have any
I have a lot of movies like that, yeah.
Like, it was on when I was completely distracted, playing with cousins or eating snacks or something, or was at a movie theater, but I was so young that not really stuck with me.
Right. Okay. So, I won't get to your changed perception,
Okay.
but what were things that stuck out on this viewing?
I think
Julia Roberts.
Yeah, right.
Wait. In a good way or bad way? Honest question.
Better.
Okay.
The best way.
A thing that stuck out for me was, like, how critical, like, completely critical, the entire movie was of Peter before going back to Neverland. Like, just almost in all facets. Like, there was almost no redeemable qualities about him, and I didn't realize that. I thought, well, I think before when I watched it, I was like, he's doing his best. He's providing. He's got a great job, almost like the guy from Train to Busan.
Yes.
Almost like him. He's doing the things. He's checking the boxes. His family's apparently very well off.
Right.
In fact,
You know,
he did
he-
have somebody film it, whatever the event was, on camera so that he could try to view it later.
Right.
Did the same thing. The
Right,
same movie.
right.
There's
And-
someone else.
He can afford a trip for 4 to England.
Well, yeah, and I just thought to myself, I don't remember seeing him this way then, but then this stuck out now that I'm like, this guy's kind of consumed
Yeah.
right now. He's kind of consumed. So that stuck out. And also what stuck out is how, like, slapstick a lot of the action is in Neverland. But I think it's on purpose, right? Because you're in Neverland. It's boys, it's the Lost Boys, it's pirates, it is absurd.
Right.
I definitely got that, like, the same feeling Peter gets when the kids first start going nuts around him, or like skateboarding around him or chasing him, and
Yes.
and he's like, he's like, okay, slow down, quiet down. Where's your parents at? I'm like, yeah, I see that.
Huge amen to that, because I felt that throughout. I felt that heavy throughout, thinking this is like, I got the same feeling watching Mork from Ork back in the days with Robin Williams was just like himself was out of control.
Yeah.
And I remember watching him and thinking, slow down a bit, just slow down. And whenever it was the scene in with the Lost Boys, especially that one, I felt like him. Like this, I think when I was probably younger, I'm like, yeah, this is great. Look at him there.
Yeah. Look at
But now it's like, just stop, shut up, and stop. And I yelled at a cloud in my yard.
Was there anything else that stuck out to you on this viewing?
Yeah, the same thing about the dad, like how critical I would be of him as a father the first time, like how he seems like he's getting all of his I don't know what it'd be, like, validation from everyone at the office, because everyone's following him around, and they have the little
the duel with
dual
their
cell phone draw.
Yeah.
he's king there.
Yeah, he's king
Right,
there. Yes,
yeah.
that's a good way to put it. So is the other guy, but it's in Train to Busan, but it seemed like they all love him there, though. Like, everyone in the staff was even joking with him, and then he was like, they all know I'm afraid to fly, and makes little jokes at the end and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were, but yes, he is king there. That is his arena, and outside of that, it's kind of a nuisance.
Yeah, I felt a little of that guilt, honestly, because
Yeah.
I think sometimes at work with my work friends and stuff, I'm an absolute buffoon and cut up and whatnot. Like Nevins and my buddies like that. It's like, and I think I'm less of that, like at home and even in the community.
Right.
I'm like a keep it close to the vest a little bit with the family, whereas I'm just an absolute karaoke clown. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's like, oh, who cares what they think of me out and about? I only
Yeah.
see them for 8 hours a day.
yeah,
you know?
and I think people see me with that hat on totally different than they see me when I'm with my family, honestly, and I don't mind that. Another thing that stuck out to me was how good his wife was. I thought watching it this time,
Right. There
like
was,
just
there was
how
nothing about her character to pick apart.
Yeah,
it
I
wasn't
just-
like some other struggle or other low point that she was working on. She's just
I thought she was just locked in. Like, I thought all her sensibilities were right. I didn't notice that when I was younger watching it. I think I just watched it and thought she should be acting this way right now. Yeah, and there's some things that she probably could have reacted differently too. But she's a mom and she's grieving because her kids are gone, and you're being told by Grammy that the only way to is for him to go there and to fight, and she's probably thinking
he's got to learn to fly. It's a thing.
Yeah, right. And
there's gonna be mermaids.
Yes,
don't think too much about it.
I thought in my head, she's a good, and even when she near the end, I remember thinking to myself, "You poor thing," and I was glad that she got her yummy payoff where he takes the phone and tosses it, and she gets that moment of, "I got him. He's actually mine. He's actually mine. I'm family's priority now with him."
Yeah, she's just been in dire suffering for 3 days, wondering if her kids will ever come back home.
Yeah.
Where's your husband? He's having a food fight. He's
Yeah, seriously.
You don't get it, but he's trust me, he's gonna get the kids back. You're just
I don't even know if we had the gears to understand some of this stuff years ago. Being unmarried and unkidded. I don't even know if we had the gears, the vocabulary to understand it.
Yeah, it's like you unlock a lens to watch the movie.
Yeah, there it is. This guy. Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
Man, I'm going to try to remember that and sound smart later.
Well, that's why I try to do with each of these movies is unlock a few lenses. Does it look clear if I turn this one on or if I go back with this one?
One or two.
Exactly.
And usually if you get a lens that shows you something you didn't see before, you can't not see it now. It's usually like, oh, that makes sense.
I gotta stop being so embarrassed about wearing glasses and saying I can see this movie better right now. I gotta stop apologizing for that though, because if you don't have the terms, the words, the skill set to see it that way, and you learn it, it's just like anything else. You can enjoy it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I think emotion is what sticks out for me compared to watching as a kid. So watching as a kid, the emotion is you're just waiting for him to be Peter Pan, so you can feel the magic, and him fight Captain Hook. The scenes that stick out now are the opposite. It's the things that you said where we're critiquing the father. So the beginning when he tells his kids to shut up.
Yeah.
It was like, you just felt like, ooh, like that. Because, as fathers of young kids, I think it's safe to say we've all been there where, we don't go too far, but it's, it's that outburst of go in the other room or go upstairs. Yeah. I'm busy right now. Are you really busy? Probably not. But it's just the culmination of everything going around you, work, kids, chores, whatever other responsibilities. And now you can't think in your own head, and something just pops. And so you see it happen to Peter, and you're thinking, oh, it's that instant regret. I shouldn't have said that,
Jimmy Stewart moment. Must you continually play that song?
So it's all those scenes that stuck out more to me, and the emotional scenes that, as a kid, you knew they're supposed to be emotional, but you don't really connect with it. But seeing as a father or older person, for me anyway, the emotional moments hit a little bit harder, and I think it has to do with me being at the youngest fatherhood out of the three of us. So my kids are right at that level of Jack and Maggie, where I recognize the reactions of the kids with my own children, certain conflicts with yourself, like when they're like, gotta lose 1 million pounds,
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep.
I was like, preach.
I'm not gonna do it the same way. But...
Sorry, boss. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, as a kid, it was kind of like my experience with it was one of those movies that just had the magic with it. You couldn't really put your finger on it, but I would rent it from Blockbuster. It's like one of those movies. We didn't own it until much later, but it was like I'd rent it, I'd watch it, twice a day before we had to return it, just to get that movie magic feeling before we had to return it. So it was also one of those movies where I never got tired of it because I would only see it every, twice. We'd rent it twice a year, something like that. So yeah, that was my experience with it. You were going to say something though?
No, I was just thinking to myself, the line I had read, the first thing that I wrote down was, everybody just shut up and leave me alone. I'm on the phone for the deal of my life.
Yep.
And it was like this. Okay, this is something I probably should write down. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, this is definitely something I should write down.
It was definitely a big, drastic tone change.
Yeah.
When that happened. The kids reacted to it. Mom reacted.
That's
the grandma
right. That's
reacted
right.
to it.
It's like, whoa, wow. And then, Grammy took the kids, and that's when she started telling them, I need to tell you a little bit about this psycho.
Yeah.
But and then like the line, like when we'll probably get into that. But I was just thinking to myself, if we, I don't know the format really, Voz, but I'm going to ask: are we going to have a time when we kind of give an opinion about watching it before and now, like enjoyed it more then or enjoyed it more now? Because I got a strong opinion about that. I didn't think I'd have.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean we could cover that first if you want, because I know that was like the main focus of the movie.
Yeah.
Viewing was how your perception changed as a father watching this.
Yeah. I think before, I definitely get to that, but I think that this is the first movie. I feel like James here. I'm gonna borrow the Tin Man here because I didn't like it watching it this time, and I loved it before, and I've watched it a few times. I mean, I just adored it. It was like you said, it brought the magic, and it didn't bring the magic. It was just almost like I was like, I was impressed by that, and I still am, but not as much.
Okay.
And I was really moved by that. And right now, it's like it didn't have the power, it didn't have the juice, and I was like, come on! I kept waiting to get that moment of, all right, now it's going to kick in, and it just never kicked in for me. I was like,
is it because of how negative you viewed him when he was?
I feel like it was almost like
we're like, hey, you don't have that redeeming. You broke even now, kind of thing.
I think that might be it because I was like, wait a minute now. I felt really bad for the wife because she was carrying the weight, and then he's off adventuring, and I get that. That's great. He's got an adventure, and there's metaphor all over the place, but she's still.
But how you felt about him
I felt just, and I felt like. In some ways, I felt for Hook a little more. In some ways, I was like, he does have an axe to grind with you.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why am I feeling that way?
I don't know if this bodes well for you when I reveal how I interpreted Hook.
Well,
him might just be perfect.
Well, honestly,
Chris, you've become a pirate.
And again, that was my big line here. So, Peter, you've become a pirate, said Grammy Wendy.
Yeah.
When she said that, like she pretty much just called him out. So, you become that guy.
Yeah.
I felt like
could be.
You know what? No,
Rocky called me that too.
But listen, hear me out. High and low villages, nooks, hamlets. Hear me out, people. I feel like his journey wasn't even ready to be a decent human being, let alone a decent dad, until he was jealous that Hook was connecting with his boy.
Huh?
And it's almost like, okay, you've left your family, and now the new stepdad's in now. Now it's all of a sudden, I want to be a dad now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you want to be a dad now, do you? So
now
I'm
that
like,
he's actually putting in the time and
so
the
I'm
effort
like,
to win him over.
I'm like, I know Hook is being manipulative. I know he's been a horse. He's not being a good person. But it's like, that doesn't change the fact that what motivates Peter to do right is, oh, someone else is being a dad now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think I've seen that played out too many times.
I think
I just felt like
put a bookmark in this because
Yeah,
I have some interpretations of Hook and that whole situation.
Okay.
That might round out the edges for you a little bit.
I like that.
yeah, because we were watching the baseball game and I was like, hey, I wasn't sure, but only after watching again, I'm like, oh, there's like wenches on his side and stuff, like watching the game, and they were drinking, and it was like he's smoking like 2 cigars at the same time. They're like on one thing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
That's how you do it.
Doesn't look like too
Tin
bad
Man
being a
was
pirate.
like,
He's
I think I'd rather be a pirate. I picked the wrong 2 guys to interpret this movie.
Voz is like, what the heck was I thinking with these 2 guys?
Like a Hook and Smee with me tonight.
They're over there with their gold and their guns and their actual food.
I think
their
I
imaginary
definitely.
food.
I feel bad.
The other side's just happy. That's all.
I feel so bad
Just
that
fulfilled. That's
You
it.
just might accidentally get shot when they're aiming at the wrong thing.
I'm definitely Smee in this. I can't even holy. What does he say? Holy smokes, Batman! I'm even the sidekick in my own fantasy. I mean, I don't think it was awful because of it, but I found myself just being a little bit more critical of Peter, waiting for him to snap out of it. I remember
that also references the last one where we're like, do dads have to just do this? Why are the dads like this? One large gesture to try to win over their kids again. It's like, yeah, the dad that does the in and out, who's there every day, who's putting in the effort, doesn't get any praise. But the guy who is trash up until this, till this big moment. But it's also a movie. You're getting
you're getting a snapshot.
2 hours of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have been talking a lot about that one gesture, the one sacrifice, the one whatever.
Right.
But
it did a better job
this
than
goes
sacrificing.
through.
Yeah.
This goes through all the little things and says, "Hey, remember when you didn't do this?
Yeah.
Remember when you didn't do that either." So it
That's
shows
true.
him all the little things.
It
that he's not
does
doing.
give him a step up above Train to Busan, I guess.
Yeah.
Because now he's like, you know what? You're my happy thought to make me this level.
Well, when Voz said that, it clicked a little bit to me. It unlocked the lens, oddly enough, which is exactly true. I don't mind saying that. Here I stand. Paint me green and call me corrected. Because I flat out was like, oh, I see. I can now see 3 or 4 mile markers that he hit during the movie. Maybe the last one saying, "You're my happy thought." Mm-hmm. Look him in the eye and say, no, I think maybe the last one was him saying, to live is the adventure. It's like another one, realizing
that opposes.
This is a huge adventure.
Because that's one of the quotes that I had was Hook's was, death is the only great adventure left, or something like that.
Yeah, he said something like that to him.
He retorts back afterwards saying, to live is actually a big adventure, whatever the quote was.
Almost like looking at his family with his arms around them saying,
yeah.
This is an adventure I've been missing out on.
Yeah, this is where we begin.
Yeah.
So yes,
I love the passion.
Let's back on track, please.
I'm hoping that I can unlock some lenses here. But it sounds like it's going to be an uphill battle.
What the viewer can't see is Vozly now has the eye of the tiger.
I'm like Peter. I pull up my notepad like he pulled out his checkbook.
That's right.
We're just going to shoot it.
He gives us shoot holes in my notebook.
Shoot holes in your notebook.
Well, this might be a first. I'm very often sitting on the rolling over towards Voz here and then looking at James saying, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
Well, first, though, I wanted to point out there are some similarities, and we seem to do this a lot with this podcast. One movie flows into the next, flows into another theme, flows into this movie. With Train to Busan, you see, oh, yes, this father is clearly, something's wrong with him. It's got to get fixed. And then the rest of the movie is both a literal journey to save his family and a metaphorical journey for him to save his family. So we had that with Train to Busan. We have that with Hook. We see right away, yells at his kids, misses the baseball game. And one other returning factor, I used it in Train to Busan, was the idea of the ghost of Christmas future. So in Train to Busan, you saw, here's what you would look like if you didn't change your ways. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to spark this, but I'm going to support it in a bit. but we also have Ghost of Christmas Future in this movie with Hook. So Peter, this is what happens to you if you continue on your ways.
Mm-hmm.
Using that lens is not, I wouldn't say it's so much jealousy that Peter feels seeing Hook with Jack, but we'll get into that when we get into it. All right, so with the lens that you guys have unlocked, the fatherly lens, do you have a scene or collection of scenes that stick out?
Well, I think the one that sticks out right away is the one where he, everybody just shut up and leave me alone. I'm on the phone for the deal of my life. And, that scene as a dad is all too real, is all too... I mean, to say it to my shame, you know what I mean? Like, there's been times with my kids that probably something awesome, and I was just, like, either overwhelmed with, life for the day or just noise sometimes, and I can't get out of my own head, and all of a sudden it's like, just give me a second. But it doesn't come out as just give me a second.
Right.
It's like, oh, goodness. And you blow it, and I know that. It's funny, specifically, Annalisa's fine with that. She's lived with that longer. Ben was new to it.
That'd be Kmax's kids.
Yeah, that's right. So she's 19 and Ben's 3 years younger. So growing up, Annalisa would be doing something that a 7-year-old is getting scolded for. And a 7-year-old knows why they're getting scolded for it. The 4-year-old doesn't know why they're getting scolded, maybe so loudly either. And so Ben would I'd see his eyes and he would just like go walking away hiding. And like he'd be hugging up Annalise like, can you believe, almost like not saying it, but like, you're okay, that big scary dad didn't, like comforting her. And I think to myself, wasn't even aware or mindful I was doing that. And it has these could potentially have these long effects on a kiddo, Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I think that was something.
Yeah.
Do you have a scene that stuck out to you?
So the one I have, where he says, "My word is my bond."
Oh.
And he says it twice, and he breaks his promises every time. That was something where I'm like, why are you even using that? It's like you're using it to trick him because you haven't backed it up once.
Doesn't the kid tell him, junk bonds?
Yeah. The kid says he's throwing a baseball against the top of the thing. And it was right after he was like, that's the first quote I wrote on here was, "Where's my parachute?" Because he draws a picture of the plane crashing, and the dad's freaking out because he's afraid of flying.
Yeah.
He's afraid of heights on Pan Am Airlines. And it shows the plane crashing and everyone's, safely falling with a parachute. And, oh, that's you, Dad. Like, well, where's my parachute?
That's right.
So I thought that was interesting that you pointed that out when we were watching it, because the whole idea of Peter is trying to find his happy thought so he can become Pan again. And his happy thought ends up being, his firstborn son, Jack.
The kid he disappointed the most.
And so for me, it's pretty clear as day. He's forgotten the joy that he got out of seeing his son born, and so is in search of that for the whole movie. And the same way he's falling to his death, he doesn't have a parachute, he can't fly because he doesn't have his happy thought. He forgot the joy of being a father.
Mm-hmm.
He forgot all of Neverland.
That's his whole journey, is finding that joy again of why he left Neverland to begin with, was to be a dad.
Yeah.
And he lost that. Yeah. And you kind of see that mirrored with Toodles, he lost his marbles. So, gotta go back to Neverland to find him, and they kind of, okay, oh yeah, now I get it. Like, I thought he was just babbling because he got dementia or something, but no, he was speaking perfectly as to what he needed to find. So I had a few scenes that stuck out to me. Hook holds class for the kids after he gets the plan from Smee to make the kids love him, which in itself is indicative of this idea that I had, that Hook was just the foil to Peter Banning. He was the Ghost of Christmas Future to Peter. So in a sense, if Peter doesn't change his ways, he's just like Hook. Hook's perception on parenthood that he gives the kids. I listened to it like very closely this time, and he's talking about, before you guys were born, your parents would stay up just to see the sunrise. They loved being with each other.
They were never happier.
They're never happier than before you were born. And, what else did he say? It was, they read you bedtime stories so that you could just go to sleep, and they get 3 minutes of quietness, without you guys, whatever. And so someone that doesn't know the joy of parenthood, that's what they might think. And that's where Peter's heading if he doesn't change his ways. Yeah. And so if he knew why you read him bedtime stories, to spark that imagination, to see them close their eyes and go to sleep, and their innocent little faces, in the light, the very like the dim light that you're reading the book in, to see them get all snuggled up, and that you're their comforting voice at night. So a parent that has forgotten all of that, that's the version of that parent is Hook. Oh yeah, they read you stories to stupefy you to sleep so they can get some time on their own. So listening to that class really stood out to me. And of course the happy thought scene where he puts it all together in the layer that he used to live in, going from, was it Teddy to Daddy.
Yeah.
So him seeing the birth of his son, and without him even realizing it, that's what lifted him up. So watching it this time around was pretty big too, because there's not a fear, but I'll often think back to the birth of my children just so I don't forget it. And so it was, I guess, emotional to watch this character forget the joy it brought him, much less the actual event itself. So this guy's been so wound up in work and life and whatever that not only did he forget the birth of not only did he forget how happy it made him in the moment, but he forgot the event itself, it seemed. And that was the whole reason that he left Neverland.
That's right.
So that scene really stuck out to me as well.
Oh, so he lost his reasons and motivations along the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
And I think there's the third scene that stuck out to me was the baseball game, because it mirrored what happened earlier in the movie. And I was reminded of a quote. I can't remember it verbatim, but it was like, I got two wolves in me, and one is violent and whatever, and one is the opposite. And so which one comes out? And so the one that you feed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's how I viewed Peter and Hook, and that's why I love the title Hook rather than anything with Peter Pan, because that's who you end up as if you don't change your ways here. So let's get this character arc over the top. So with the baseball game, we're reminded of the earlier baseball game. And so Peter's almost revisiting this game like a Christmas Carol, where he's this entity that just kind of is able to watch without participating and able to see, this is what happened. This is how it looked. Yeah. And then you have the father figure, which at this point has been fed more in Hook, supporting Jack and being there for him. And so Peter's able to get this perspective like, oh, this, I've been missing this right here. I've been missing Jack, just being a kid, playing baseball, looking for his dad in the audience. And it comes the point, the end of the game, all right, we're going to throw a curveball at you. And we know that Jack can't hit the curveball. So in the previous game, he strikes out. He looks over multiple times and his dad's not there. And this time, with the full support of his, quote, new dad in Hook, is able to hit the home run and live out his, this dream of, everyone dreams about it, the big game, whether it
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
have to be baseball, but the big game, you hit the big shot, you win it, no time left, and the whole place is cheering for just you. And so he does that, and it kind of made me think, or should have made Peter also think, and you could argue he was thinking this, that if I had been there, just the support of me being there for him, could he have had a better outcome at that game?
Right.
Could he have hit the curveball? Could he have?
He might have thought that after the ball came down and then hit him in the head.
Well, you could see him, when he saw Hook go support him, and hoist him up, and he just turns
How
around
happy
and walks
Jack
away.
was, and it was like a huge
Right.
celebration. right
So
after he
I don't
scored
think it was jealousy. I think it was like, oh man,
it was him realizing
missed out on-
his
That's
faults.
probably, you know what? I definitely see that. So I don't know why I had such a bent in saying and feeling so strongly about it though.
No, it's
because I'm like
it's
I
your
was
perception at the time.
I was absolutely convinced.
because
I'm like,
he literally runs from the place. He takes off all the fake pirate gear.
Yeah.
Because the big round
Thud.
thud butt or whatever.
Thud
his name
butt.
is. Yeah.
great name.
He picks up the
Nickname in
hat.
college, by the way.
He picks up his hat and sees him running off, and he just slams it on the
Yeah.
ground. But Peter's running away to try to fly. He runs off to try to start flying.
He's gonna
As soon
double
as
his
that
efforts,
happens.
I thought.
And Christmas Carol, Ghost of Christmas Future. He saw what could happen, and all right, got to fix it. And by the time because I think that leads right into the climax of his conflict in the movie is finding his happy thought. And so just like Christmas Carol, that final visitation is what kind of gets him on his way to changing his ways. So that was another scene that stuck out for me, and I
that
wanted
was
to.
a good one.
I kind of wanted to go through some of the tools that they used, because I've gone through a couple of them already, but there's a lot of symbolism, use of color. But I'll ask you guys before I kind of go into them. But what did you guys think about color? Did you notice that at all, or think about it at all, or no?
I thought that the Lost Boys were very colorful and not cantankerous, like just almost like lovably disorganized, and yet everything they did was almost like choreographed. Mm-hmm. All their little fights and all their movements and all their things were almost like, and even their guns were almost like Dr. Seuss like. Whereas had the pirates, they were pretty much drag colors and traditional ways of pirating.
Mm-hmm. They had a lot
That's
of
right.
red. I think they had a lot of red. Even
Red
the
and black.
Pirates, red and black. They had their what's his name's whole thing was red and black. Their baseball teams were the Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
Shmi has like a big like a sash, big red sash on him when he's. But yeah, I don't know if the color's connected to anything.
Even like the color between like England or regular world and Neverland was like a big. There's almost like a hue. You remember
Like
in E.T.?
a warm color when it comes to Neverland.
Yeah,
And
almost
it's
like
blue.
That's right.
Bluish from England and the there's use of like snow, so like that white color. So kind of the same thing though. The drab, absence of bright colors when it came to anything with adults.
Oh yeah, that was very bright. All their colors, even their food fighting stuff was like bright blues and greens and yellows and reds, but it was bright colors.
So it kind of leads into one of my other things that I noticed, but yes, all their imagination stuff colored, and so we see Peter starts off with his white shirt, black pants, and when I saw all the pirates, I saw a lot of black, a lot of red. That's what Hook's ship was. That's what his outfit was. Black, red, white. So we had only seen Peter in black and white. So I thought, maybe there's red in him somewhere. I don't know. And sure enough, when he, bounces off the plank and goes into the water.
He's tied up.
His suspenders are red.
Yeah.
So I was like, there it is. And there was red even with the Lost Boys too, but I think it was, to me, it was kind of a incorporation. Like they also had that sense with the, not, whereas the pirates said that's the only color they could do. That was it. And where the Lost Boys, they had more developed, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so the use of the black, the red, the white, and Rufio had black and red on, and he was kind of like the last.
He was like the
oldest. Last challenge for him for Peter to become the Pan.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He did kind of need to defeat him.
And it wasn't even really a defeat. I feel like it was more of a just something he had to overcome. Like you're the Pan. Yep. I was gone for a long time. You took it over, and I need to become the Pan again, so you can bend the knee.
Yeah. Yep. So you get the sword.
Right. And the use of green. So green in general, it has different connotations with it, but in this movie, I found it to be with a lot of like liveliness and growth. And so even with the Neverland camp, they have vines everywhere. They use them to get around. It's just decoration. They use them as part of their tree houses and everything. We see a transition where Peter started with the black and white outfit, and we see progression. We see him take his shirt off, and they're trying to paint him colors, so they're trying to bring that out by literally just putting it on him. Like, yeah, you're colorful. He had like his
like a smiley
the
face.
Yeah. It looked like a coked out Stewie Griffin drawn on his abdomen. But he changed from there, and he put on the white shirt again. But shortly after, it was dinner time, and he was kind of in like the brown leafy looking outfit for dinner time, right? Mm-hmm. And again, getting painted by the imaginary food, so colors all over the place. And this time it sticks, and that's when we see him cut the
coconut.
The coconut.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of like okay, like we're progressing forward again. And then he kind of incorporates a little bit more. He's got the not pirate belt, but the belt that's more fit for Neverland, like the thick band and the big buckle. Until finally he's in the green tights and the green leafy looking outfit.
Yeah.
And so to me that was growth, that's liveliness, like that's our Peter Pan, that's our main character turning to the good side here, and full go. He's got his Bravo back to take on Hook. So that I thought that was a pretty cool use of the color and the outfit.
Yeah, I never noticed the color changes. I noticed the outfit was going to be different when he was flying again, but that it worked through a process. Like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Now, what'd you guys think of the use of clocks?
Oh, I had quoted that. I forgot to write it down. Because Peter says it as he's fighting. He's like, Hook's afraid of an old dead croc, but he's not. It's the time, or something like that. He says when he's fighting he's like, it's time he's afraid of, or something. I forgot how the quote goes.
I think you just put the words
in wrong order
in their mouth.
but that's what he says. But I never knew it because he's fighting while he's saying it, and I can't tell what he was saying until we read it with the caption on, and I was like, oh yeah, he's actually afraid of time, is what he's afraid of. It's not the croc itself. It's how he's getting old, and so he takes his wig off of him, and he's, Peter. Yeah, my dignity. Gives him back his wig, but that's I don't know. Death is the only great adventure. So he's looking at it like he's at the end of his line.
What about you, Kmax? Clocks.
I mean, I feel like just clocks like in the the original Peter Pan. Like the I didn't see anything new in Hook that clocks represent. Maybe there was. I mean, I think like just the idea of time, right? Your age. You're young or you're old, and so I see that as far as. But then I just saw it as like part of the regular story of how there was always this sense of doom for Hook whenever he heard a clock.
Mm-hmm.
And
I felt like that with it being in the crock, it felt a little more veiled. Where now it's actually clocks, and then there's a giant gator, but the gator's not coming after you.
And I like that they all presented it like the final, as it was like part of the crescendo. It was like, he's almost at his end now. Now it's the finishing move.
Yeah, yep,
it's like,
yep.
They're all holding the clocks now, and it's like, I mean, I think it was effective.
I'm gonna bring a scene back to your attention.
Okay.
I think they're all asleep, and Jack's pocket watch starts to tick because we see Hook's mustache.
His mustache tapping his.
I still don't know how they did that. But he wakes up and he's gonna smash, and we find out that it's the watch that his dad gave him.
Yeah, that's right.
So remember when I said, whatever wolf you feed, that's the one. And so it's which version of Jack's father is he going to learn from? Is he going to learn from the good father, or is he going to learn from this absent father with no heart, this evil father? And the moment Jack starts to gravitate towards Hook, they point out, oh, this watch represents your connection with your dad. And so wasn't your dad the one that didn't make it to your
Yes, who starts poking all this
baseball game? Like, let's smash it. So smash, and now damage that connection with his dad, and now he's with Hook after that. So to me, yes, part of it was, that's doom for Hook, but it's that connection. To me, the clock started to represent a connection between Jack and his son, or Jack and his dad,
if not both.
And I'll get into this too.
Okay.
So at the end there, when Jack gets that look in his eyes and his face, so Maggie too, but oh, my dad, that's my dad. Oh, he's this heroic character. He's actually a good guy. Like the moment that returns to them during the battle between Peter and Hook, they go out to the courtyard where the croc is, right? So to me, they reestablish the connection between Peter and Jack. And so they bring out the clocks right after that, as in like, oh, you're doomed now because they're like the clock. Here's the clocks. To remind you of the connection that they regrew.
I'll show myself out. And so obvious now.
So the idea that this clock has been looming in this croc's mouth for ages now was kind of like the sense of this doom, this impending doom that was going to come about with this connection. The good father was able to reconnect with his son and take the place of the evil father and show him out the door. And so you brought up I told you to wait on it. What did you just say to me?
Oh, you said both.
The impending doom. Yes. Hook was never ever meant to win. He even says, I want to die. He's meant to lose. He wants this big battle.
Don't stop me, Smee.
He wants to be killed. He wants, even he actually wants the good father to survive and take his place. To end it all.
Yeah.
Good prevails.
Yeah, there's like a sheen of enjoyment, but underneath it, hates the other pirates. He wants to kill himself and has Smee stop him. He's
So he says, "Death is the last great adventure that I have left."
Yeah.
When he's suicidal.
Yep.
And so he's looking forward to that. I think he recites it back to Peter during the final battle as well.
That's when I remember it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he says it right before attempting to shoot himself.
Oh, that's right.
He says it there too.
Mm-hmm. So to me, it was like, yes, only one of us is going to prevail, and I'm ready to go. I'm scared, by the clocks. The clocks are counting down. Well, they weren't counting anyway. All the hands are going which ways. But
Haunted Mansion clocks.
Yeah.
It's the only way I describe them.
Yeah.
Clocks.
But like any character, he's afraid of his demise. But that's the adventure that he's looking for. So that only strengthens the thought I had that our hero, once he reconnected with his son, that was it for Hook. And I know a lot of people point out the death scene is a little odd, like the croc just kind of falls on him.
Yeah.
But to me, it was this combination of clocks and reprisal of Peter coming back, and
Almost like a fulfillment of his purpose too.
yes, you don't need to see him being chewed up. It's just boom, the croc with the clock. That kind of just symbolized his ending there.
Yeah.
Snoop.
So it leads me to one of my other points here. The use of dialogue. Throughout the whole movie, there's alliteration, assonance, rhyme. Was it the steel-handed stingray?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many good ones.
The brave barracuda.
There was. Oh man, I wish I could remember all the.
But the line that they say, he's afraid of an old dead croc. That is not something.
Yeah, where's my phone?
Like slant rhymes even.
Yeah. Where's my phone?
And it's present throughout the entire movie, and it kind of gives it this whimsical, like Shakespearean, feeling.
It is unique. It is unique.
And like I said, it's throughout the entire movie, though. It's not just when one character speaks. It's kind of all over. And you guys both told me, you weren't in the same rooms when you told me this. You said, I wrote down a lot of quotes. I didn't really have any really notes. There I go.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah.
I'm speaking in rhyme now. But it was like the use of dialogue was so prevalent in the movie to build that magic, for me anyway.
Well, early on, if I want to take the opportunity to use a quote. There were one quote that I thought set the tone and just set the film's purpose. When the wife says, "We have a few special years with our children when they're the ones who want us around." Mm-hmm. And I thought, truth. And there's just like a whole culture. There's a whole jeepers creepers. It's not just empty nest. It's like life stuff. There's songs. There's entire albums written about plays and tragedies written about that dynamic of. I lost it. I missed it. And then some people that don't get it back. Like the kid's gone and it's like, oh well, I messed that up. It's not a small loss. It's not a small loss.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I found the exact quote from the transcript, actually. So he goes, "Hello, tick-tock, tick-tock. Hook's afraid of an old dead croc. I think not. I think James Hook's afraid of time ticking away." That's as they're fighting. And then good form, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm falling. Give me my dignity.
I wanted to rewind to there's something else I forgot about Hook with the idea of him never really going to win. Was Peter's got to conquer this now. He can't just put it off and let Hook, or this idea of being a bad father, stew in Neverland, because Hook threatens, if you leave, I'm going to come and haunt your children. What do you say?
Your children's children.
There's going to be
Yeah.
There's going to be swords flying at the
daggers
doors of
and
your children's
yep.
children's children.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that was this idea of, if you don't fully get rid of this problem you're having as a bad father, it's going to go generational.
Yeah.
Jack's going to learn it. Jack's son's going to learn it. Whoever's son is going to learn it from him. So it was kind of like, unless you vanquish me now in Neverland and conquer this quest, I'm going to come back. And that idea of fatherhood, like bad fatherhood, coming back and affecting generation after generation.
Ooh, we got to give some screenwriting credit to the Pentateuch, Abraham, the Holy Spirit, and God Almighty. The things visiting generations upon the second and third generation, upon the fathers and their sons and their sons' sons. Boom, there it is. Okay, Lord, there's your credit.
So,
well, not that he needs it from me, but I mean, that lesson is so essential. Like, you think that this doesn't carry any weight?
Oh,
it's going to visit.
Yep.
Not just your kids, but...
Here's the exact quote. Peter, I swear to you, wherever you go, wherever you are, I vow there will be daggers bearing notes signed James Hook. They'll be flung at the doors of your children's children. Do you hear me?
Because he was leaving.
Yeah.
He was leaving with his kids.
Yep. He got his kids already. He got them back. And now he's got to vanquish him.
Am I going too far to say he has his moment? He has his big, bold moment, right? But then the screenwriters, the story is demanding more of the character, saying, no, you're not resolved here. You've done nothing. You've not gone the whole way. You've got more to do here. You can't leave this unresolved.
Right.
You know what I mean? It like forces you a little bit. It's funny.
It also, in order for the clock to hold weight, it has to be kind of completed totally.
Yeah.
So the clock's he's got the kids back, but the threat is still there. So in order for the threat to be vanquished, then the clocks and Hook has to be defeated.
Yeah, even when the kids seem satisfied, like, let's just go.
Yep.
He's just an old man that needs a mom.
He needs his mom. Yep.
Needs his mommy, and it's like, there's some... And you know what? Why wouldn't the kid say that? The mom was awesome in this movie. Right. So of course the kid's like, you know what? She doesn't have a mom like us. This may or may not get talked about, but I think that the moment that moved me the most in this movie was it delivered by let me see here, Rufio, when he tells Peter he wished he had a dad like him.
Yeah.
It was
After he was killed?
Yeah, it was like this healing moment, like tells him. And then Jack sees that and like takes the wig off, like, holy cats.
Yeah.
I also want a dad like him. It's like, but he never did have a dad like that, though. Right. And now he's seeing it.
At least that.
Not yet.
He remembered.
That he remembered. That's right. So, like, you did have a dad when he was born, because that's the good memory, right? When Jack was born. But then now it's like, he's seeing it. He's seeing another little kid, a young person, say, I wish I had a dad like you. And I think it was neat and maybe telling that it focused on like foreground, background type camera shot of him seeing that. And that's important. Right? Shout out to like cinematography and whatnot too, to make sure they capture that. So you can see, oh, cool. We can see that we're supposed to be, that the kid's learning a lesson here. And that we're getting more evidence that that Peter's learned a lesson too. That I thought that was an odd. I found myself feeling a ton in that moment, like him saying, he was an adversary for a while with Peter too. Like he got unseated by him.
Yes, he was his successor.
And here he is now saying, I wish I had a dad like you. And I just thought that was a cool line. I thought that was of all the things that happened in this,
or what he could have called him, or what he could have referenced as him being
Yeah.
the pan.
Yeah.
He refers to him as a dad.
Yeah. But like,
You know?
yeah, that's right. That's right. Not even like you fly good, you fight good.
Yep.
You're salty.
Right.
You're,
All the stuff that the Lost Boys kind of hold in weight, and it's a father is what he's referenced as.
yeah, I think that's cool. I don't know where that fits, but I thought that needed to be said because I thought that's big.
I mean, I have so many thoughts, and it's just kind of blur them out when you got them because I often find that I'll think of it and then I'll lose it, and I'll have to dig through my notes again.
Yeah, and I know there's a closeness. I don't mind saying this. Of all the films that we've done this season so far, I feel like Voz, and I might not be right, but is more connected to this one on a bunch of levels. There's some deep.
Oh yeah, he's got puzzle pieces put together. I think I found corners. Like I'm.
Yeah, seriously, right. Like I'm looking at it and I'm like, I was trying hard and I couldn't. But I'm glad we're having this conversation.
No, because me and you picked up the same thing. I go, I'm keeping quotes as because that's all I have right here is quotes and then fear of heights. Fear of
I got a ton of quotes and then like I got the transition. Here's the literacy teacher in me. I'm looking at the transition. Well, okay, at the beginning of the story, we have him here. And then at the end of the story, we have him here. What events happened that changed him? We've all had those 5th grade ELA exams.
DBQs.
And so I handled it exactly like that. I'm like, and these are the things that happened. And here's a quote from that thing. And here's another quote from that thing. But I know I missed a lot of the things that Voz is bringing up because I'm like, oh, okay. I think I was just looking more for evidence. I was doing it more from like a literacy thing. Like, he's obviously changed. He's redeemed. What events took place that got him to that redemption? And there's a lot more to them.
There's things I start looking for that I haven't looked for before in movies is like, why was Hook having class? The first thing he does when he's with these kids is like an adult and children, and how are we going to treat them like they're in class? So he treats them like they're students. Mm-hmm. And then when the girl isn't falling in line, you get an F. She's not going to play ball. We'll go after the boy. So she's like, you gave me an F? What weight does that hold? But it must have held weight with her why she was like, an F? Like, okay, well, we're in class. I'll work on the boy because he has less doubt in his father, where the daughter had more hope. So let's get rid of her. Give her an F.
I think it was interesting with that scene too. The idea Smee had was you can make them love you.
Yeah.
Not any like grow to love you. Not
right.
Get to know them.
How do we get them to?
And that's exactly like a bad father would just say, "Well, you have to love me. Like I'm going to make you love me.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to play games. I'm going to. Okay, what is the one big thing that I know that you felt bad about your other father? I'm going to just, what's the word? I'm going to fabricate the best thing ever, and it's the baseball game. It's all fabricated. Both teams are all, guy steals plate and he shoots him from the, he steals second base, he gets shot. Like, hold on. Jack's rules. Let's Jack do it. So he makes it as wonderful as he possibly could have.
It's a veneer.
It's
a huge
scenario.
Yes,
yeah,
the best case veneer. It's the...
It sounds like all the guys that got the girl in high school. Their whole game plan.
Zero
and you know what?
It
always worked. So,
darn right it worked. No, I'm kidding.
It's worked not from... Again, the good guy left...
A guy I know.
standing at the wall, eating a slice of pizza like, I didn't want to dance with you anyway. Meanwhile, Bobby Boogie with the veneers has out,
I think there's some...
He's rounding third. I'm still in the batter's circle.
I'm just watching from the sidelines.
I'm buying popcorn. Peter... Okay, so here's what I've learned a little bit. Peter always knew... He seems like he always knew what he had to do to be a good dad. He seemed like he did, even in, in his job, because he knew he had to be at the game. So he made the promises, and he even sends the video. The guy, which one's the kid?
The camera guy.
And then the kid asks mom, which one's his kid? Yeah. Not even which one's your kid, which one's his kid, Oh, but like he seemed to know, but it's like he lacked the. This is almost every dad. Every dad knows what they're supposed to do. It's not hard.
Yeah.
You know what you're supposed to do.
And yeah,
But it's like these other things take priority. Some of them feel noble, like having a good job and building a good nest for your kids and being. Well, I provide for my kids. Get these industrial revolution type values. It's like, well, I do this, and like what Voz said last week, and that I don't even know when it's going to air, but like the last episode, saying we get these romanticized ideas about what a dad is, and then we just kind of sometimes robotically act them out instead of gauging it and saying this is what this kid needs. Peter seemed to know what he had to do, but it wasn't until he had the proper motivation to actually do it. And I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe I poo-poo on him because I'm thinking you should just have it. It comes with being a dad.
We could say being in Neverland because he lost all his memory from 12, 13 years old and younger.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a memory issue. So he doesn't remember what it feels like to actually appreciate the son's birth or the connecting, what's it called? Because that seemed to be his thing. It's like, you forgot why you do what you do.
But that's the thing. It's like the essential reason why he went to, when he left Neverland, was to be a dad, right? That's why he left. So it's like...
He was like kidnapped into going to Neverland. But that's right.
But I think it's essentially why he stayed, like why he wanted to go was to be a dad. And it's like the main thing, I always say, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. So he lost the plot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before I forget it, I think there is something to be said about the idea of Hook being this version, this Ghost of Christmas Future version of Peter, is that Hook kind of has certain omniscient qualities. He's like, hey, your dad wasn't at the big game, and Jack's like, how'd you know that?
Yeah.
And that right. I think there's another instance later in the movie too where he points something out that he shouldn't know, but he does. So it's almost like he's speaking. It's almost about first person experience.
Yes.
That's interesting.
But
this stuff just flies over my head sometimes.
I wanted to talk about Neverland as well, and Julia Roberts. So I know one of the big criticisms is casting Julia Roberts in the role of Tinker Bell. I want to get your guys' thoughts on that first.
The more Julia Roberts, the better. Always across the board.
Too much Julia Roberts.
No, I mean, I thought it was almost a little distracting for me.
Mm-hmm.
They have such a, again, at the time, huge name. And
for such a role that's like an odd role that anybody probably could have played that role.
Yeah, it was almost distracting to me because it was hard for me to separate.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's my first impression.
I heard she was a little difficult to work with on set for this role.
Sounds about right. But I mean, like she did Pretty Woman. Was it before or after this?
I think it was before.
I think it was before.
Yeah. So I mean, she's a big
well-known.
Mm-hmm. But I know, like some of the weirdness comes with she's Tinkerbell among this band of children. So it's kind of she's an adult with these children. The only other adults are pirates in Neverland.
Oh, I didn't even put that together.
And so for me, Neverland was this place where Peter was meant to conquer this journey as an adult, because just everything fit together when he came back. She's an adult. She confesses that she loved him and grows, and they're about the same age. So to me, and she'd always been that age. It wasn't like she aged the same amount. She was always an adult around the age that he would be when he returned. So to me, Neverland was this place meant just for him to conquer this conflict at that right specific time.
Man, that's heavy. That's deep.
So
it's probably right, but it's super deep, man. I mean, gets me thinking metaphysics for some reason. Like, people's versions of this is what heaven's like. Your heaven's different. Maybe I think it's just almost like a metaphysical thing. Like, this is his task. This is his arena created specifically for him to accomplish this specific thing.
Because the whole idea of Neverland, like when he conquers it, I mean, what is Neverland without Captain Hook?
Right.
Huh. That's what it is. It's this conflict between Pan and Hook. So if you don't have one, it's not Peter's Neverland anymore.
Yeah.
He's flown out of there, and he gives up the sword to Thud.
That's right.
So whoever Thud is, it's his story now, and now it's his. Whatever conflict Thud's going to go through, perhaps that's neither here nor there, but it kind of gives it like Peter has conquered his journey in Neverland. He's learned how to be a good father, and he's done. He's completed.
So what do you think the significance of Tinkerbell is?
Well, I told you it was to show. Well,
like, why is she the same age as he is now? Is it
because
like
he could only conquer this at that point in time. So he was meant to be in Neverland as an adult, as a father, at that age, because she is the same age of,
now
roughly.
Is she supposed to be like here's another reason that you could stay at Neverland is because you don't need to go back to your wife. You have Julia Roberts.
No, because when to me, this is all to me, my perception. When she turned big in the Cinderella dress at the clock, she confessed her love, and Peter's immediate thought was Moira. Mm-hmm. Like, it was a reminder for him. It was, as a kid, it's Tinkerbell. As an adult, it's a grown woman. Oh, Moira. Moira. So to me, it's like, here's this woman that loves you. Remember, you already have that. So it kind of just another feather in the cap of you have all this. Now you've gotta get the love of your children back. You've got the love of your wife, and she was kind of there to remind him that.
Man, I'm a mess here. I get that, but I feel what you said.
Right, like that's.
I'm
she's
pointing at
almost
James.
Like not an opponent, but it's another thing to conquer. Like Rufio needed to be beaten and be succeeded, whereas Julia Roberts, who is fun and helpful and challenging and pretty, and now she's at a size and age that's appropriate for him.
Yeah.
No,
and
I have to go back to my wife.
And user friendly.
User
compatible.
Friendliest user.
Interface, I assume.
So I wouldn't even go that far, because I would say that. I don't have anything to ground that other than I mean,
sounds like somebody's got a loose eye.
It's so funny.
But he's feeling the same thing.
Well, honestly,
sounds like somebody's loose eyes.
I feel like that too, though. I felt pretty strong about that. Like,
there's
definitely
a connection that she's pushing for this great hero that he was, and now that he is that person, stay, and you can have this relationship.
Because I gave him full credit for it, for saying, no.
Right.
It's only sharpened my resolve more to be with my wife, with Moira. Well, reminding him of Moira.
So there's...
But I feel like it was a challenge, though. It was like, but it was like...
Because their relationship was she's very much like, doting on him and training and helping him. Yeah. And now that I'm your size, I'm going to confess my love for you.
Yeah. And to me, I felt like that was like another Neverland challenge.
Yes.
And he passed it,
another Neverland challenge.
And he obviously passed it.
Right.
And I don't know, I'm not saying she threw himself at him and he's like, I must get going now. But it's Julia Roberts, and that's casted that way for that reason.
That's what it seemed like.
To me.
Because he mentions her being pretty, too.
Yes.
And so, we kind of thought, this is a... not only do you have to be dad, you have to be husband, you have to be this.
Well, it's like you got to complete the composite. You are going to be the hero. The hero's journey is not completed.
The hero's journey.
Odysseus still has to say no to the sirens. And he's
there you go.
He can't stay in the land of the lotus eaters. He's got to move on. He could have stayed on an island where he makes love and pretty much smokes pot all day long.
Yeah.
Or he's got to go home at some point.
Right.
It's like,
and are your children worth it? And at the end of the day,
And I told you what an outstanding woman he had waiting for him.
that's right.
I want to go on a record saying that was my
That's right.
number one character in this whole thing.
Well, I mean, you see echoes of that, though, when Tinkerbell first shows up, where she's, hey, come on, we got to whip up into shape, and this is him, I swear. He's a good guy. I know him. We just got to bring it out of him.
There's a name for
And
that.
I think that kind of echoes
female
Moira.
hero's journey character. That's true. I would say that too. There's a female whose name is in the hero's journey. That's a female character, but she has a archetype or something. I can't remember what it's called.
I just love this because I see a movie that I literally just watched. And I got like 5 or 6 different viewpoints. I'm like, gosh, I'm an idiot.
Take them. Who cares?
Right.
Hey,
But the thing is though, I like it. I just have to stop my nature to be defensive when I learn something new or learn that I didn't see something fully or differently. My first instinct is to put up my guard and say, nah, I'm right. Even when I'm blatantly wrong, it's just...
We have no problem getting that point of view. I mean,
Yeah.
Corey's going to tear it apart, but we're going to have no problem.
But the thing is,
Well,
though,
I'm not going to tear it apart. I'm going to offer my
But I
perception, and
see,
you do
Remember,
with
it's
it what you will.
perceptions.
But the thing is, though, I enjoy it, though, because it gives me... Ultimately, it helps me to... the meal to taste better. Mm-hmm. And I like the food to taste... I like to taste all the spices, if I can.
Just like, what's his face? Remy
Yes.
takes a bite, and he can picture, oh, this is where this is from, that's where that's from.
Yes. Oh, my gosh.
But I wanted to also bring up one of the tools that was used. The opening to this movie was the play itself.
That's right.
And so to me, the whole movie
That's almost lost on me.
kind of plays off like a play. You got the dialogue that's very whimsical, and like I said, the rhyming and the slant rhyming and
the choreography?
assonance. Yeah. And pretty much the whole movie is on it's in a stage. You know,
Yeah.
it's not on location somewhere. It's, you know, sets and man-made things. You know, and to me that sparks imagination and creativity and part of that movie magic. You know.
I'm shaking my head enthusiastically because I'm like, yes. I mean, again, maybe watching on a small screen didn't help me with that today. That might be it, you know?
I mean, that's what I offered to
Yeah.
watch on the big screen,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
uninterrupted.
Right.
But yeah, as a kid, you know, it hit on a few different levels, and it could just be. We have an interesting snapshot here of different ages when we saw it, when we became fathers, because I feel like I'm right in the thick of it. Where the movie came out, I was a kid. You focus on the magic of it. I mentioned before, I'm just waiting for Peter to become Peter Pan so I can enjoy that.
Yeah.
And much like how these kids are just waiting for the father to become a good father so they can enjoy him. So watching as a father, now my kids are relatively the same age as these kids, and I got one of each, and you got one of each, and James has several of each. But it speaks to me that way, and you know, just a lot of things. Is I feel like only fathers can really understand just the pressures of just existing. Even, you know, you do what you can. Sometimes it's enough. Sometimes you know you're doing it wrong, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Yes.
And so watching this movie as a father is, you know, a lot of the stuff they show is stuff that I'm like, wow, yeah, from the workout that they try to get the, you know, in order to get my kids' admiration, I gotta make sure I lose a few more pounds. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah,
Right,
there's that
right.
one. And to also have that imagination, like at the end, you know, he's talking on the phone, so he's incorporating what he learned from Neverland into his current life. You know, even telling Brad on the phone, "Oh yeah, a duel with James Hook to the death," or you know,
Right. Yeah.
To the death.
It became this cautionary tale to me. much like A Christmas Carol, where you get to see what life's going to be like if you don't change your ways, and combine that with the movie magic that Spielberg puts on. And another topic I wanted to touch base with you guys on, or at least more in depth, was the music. Because I don't know if there's a movie that's been elevated more by a score. Man, this movie making me still rhyme. But every scene, even if you just got rid of the dialogue, the way that the music directs you to feel, you feel that instantly. Even you're supposed to reminisce on certain things. Like in the beginning, they show the paintings of pirates out on the sea on their little rowboats, and you hear the seagulls, and you kind of get this other type of music that you haven't heard in the movie yet, and it makes you feel like you're reminiscing about old timey things out on the sea. And when you're with the Lost Boys, there's this janky tune that comes about that you don't hear anywhere else. And then there's, when that is silent, is times of confusion where you don't know how to feel. When Peter falls, when he first gets to Neverland, and he falls like through the vines, through the trees, and he lands, and he's covered in all the vines and stuff, and the Lost Boys, thuds, "Who's the shrub?" So, which I finally get now is because he had all the vines on him, so he looks like a plant. So as a kid, I was always like, "Oh yeah, like a shrub, like a, I don't know, whoever." But like, oh yeah, he does look like a shrub. But yeah, so that moment when there's no music, so it's not directing you how to feel, you're a little confused, which is the exact feeling that these Lost Boys probably have. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You said Peter's back, there's a pile of bushes here. And then each character seemed to have their own theme music whenever they were on screen. And then you had moments that were highlighted by the dialogue, which anytime Smee and Hook were talking to one another was awesome. And so John Williams just backs off and lets them talk. The suicide scene. Some of the stuff, I feel like it'd be interesting to watch it without the music as well, to see how outrageous or how ineffective some of the things are. Like you see the kids at the end when the kids join in the war, and they've got these, window blinder armor pads on, and they have the heroic music as they're approaching on their own ship or whatever it is. But if you took out that music, your eyes focus on the kids and how ridiculous they look.
Right.
Going to go fight pirates that have real swords and whatever, guns. So yeah, music I think was a huge part of this movie. And James, that was your first.
That was my first thing.
That was your first memory, was the music.
Yep.
It almost told you when to expect the whimsical, the music. Now, all right, now play with us now. Like a stage play would, It's like, we invite you to this scene. Now we're going to usher you over to this scene.
Yeah, yep.
We're going to help you understand what to feel right now.
And I've noticed about current movies, there's a lot less score. Like this one score was all over the place. Everyone had their own theme music. When you're supposed to be sad, the sad music came on. And there's movies that I have one specific example. Hocus Pocus. Okay, the first one. When the music turns on, it's from Hocus Pocus. And it's throughout the movie, even when there's nothing going on, they have it kind of a lower in the background, right? And the second one, have you watched the second one?
I have.
There's next to no score. It's
That's
just
right.
people talking, and it's empty in the background. And it feels less magical than the first one. And there's parts where I'm like, that would be nice. I wish there's that uplifting music to go with it. You know, like when in Hocus Pocus, when they go on adventure, you get that big well of, like in the very beginning, Thackeray goes running through the woods and you get that music flowing. But in the second one, it was just empty. It felt like there's nothing really attached to it. I didn't know how am I supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Because all you're showing me is dialogue and scenes, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I like the term you use, the magic. So much of the magic comes with the music, with the score. Speaking of magic, Harry Potter, the score in those are... And so I think of the contrast between the originals and the prequels, which are awesome, but the score is decent in the prequels. Fantastic Beasts and Grindelwald and Secrets of Dumbledore. Good score, but not nearly as iconic as the originals. You know, I can tell you with something playing which one it's from, which book it's from, which characters are on the screen, which characters are there. Is it happening at Hogwarts? Is it happening in Hogsmeade? You know what I mean? Is it happening? But you know, and it's not just from experience and how long it's been out, because I love the prequels. I just watched Secrets of Dumbledore the other night, and I had just finished watching all the originals, and it stuck out like a sore thumb. I'm like, there's a magic of the first ones too that can't be replicated maybe, but then there was a lack of sustained score. There were some moments that they remembered that we had to pull this together and give this guy a little bit. We got to give this guy a little. We got to give, some specific sounds and instruments for certain. But they don't follow it through, and it's not as done as, I guess, romantically as it's done in the originals. So, like, yeah, I wonder, like all the Godfather movies. You know what I mean? Like, I'd like to see if it breaks down as you go to 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I
like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If we watch that one, I want to invite someone. I mean, you're musically inclined as well, but I'd like to focus on music with that movie. But Tin Man, what were your thoughts on music with this one?
Other than that's like the first thing I remember. Like like the sound brought me back. Like I've seen enough of the movie like throughout the years, but not really. Probably haven't seen the movie itself in probably over 15. And the music was the first thing that was just like, oh yeah, like the feel, the vibe, the sense of the movie came back. But like I don't know, it felt 90s. Like 80s, 90s, where it would get very loud, where it's just like, adventure! Like it was just yelling at you, you know?
Yeah, but, that's true.
But it was, I don't know, like I got nothing bad to say, but it definitely had that epic adventure feel to a lot of the, there was times where I'm listening for it and like a minor note would make it slightly sadder and it would go the other way. It would like be more
right, like you had this trunk of music and it had branches where it started off with the trunk, but if you were meant to be sad, it would go this way.
Yep. Like
or if Hook was on the screen, it would go this way. Or if we're going to deal with pirates, it would go this way.
Black key here, like it went.
Yeah.
Yep. But it had it was well done. I don't know how to. Like, I liked it, and that's the first thing that came to mind.
I think that's funny that James. That was his very first observation was the music and the score. Oh, it's funny. I just thought.
But that's like, because like seeing it, I was like, yeah, I remember pieces of it because I haven't seen it in so long. Yeah. So we put the movie on, and I'm like, I don't even remember the scenes where he's in the office with everyone in his suit and stuff. But as soon as the music came, I'm like, I remember that.
Even that. Those scenes in the office, they're like on piano, just like bum bum bum, run of the mill, blah 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 blah.
It's very
made you feel that
of
way.
That time. Very. It felt like Little Giants, it felt like, I had that other movie that came to mind, but like that era of, things just going along, just light going along music.
Kind of like I don't know, what's the phrase I'm looking for?
Zemeckis-y. Very Zemeckis-like.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good term.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Going through your
you know
routine,
what I mean? Yeah.
You know, like, oh, here's the routine. He's missing another baseball game. He's at the office.
Yes, it didn't. Yes,
and it was just piano. I don't know if there's any other instruments, but when you compare it to the rest of the score, the rest is so involved. So like even by virtue of that, where it's just one piano playing this music while he's being a bad father and missing the thing and being at the office.
But it almost made you feel not so sad, but like it lightened it through, kind of sheened over how bad.
So like it was him missing this game that was super important to him, and it was just like, yep, this is run of the mill, like playing the piano.
Yeah.
I wonder how much changes, like if you were to put like a chart, you probably chart it with like the color being introduced, and the more dynamics in music.
Because I feel like if the music was sadder, it wouldn't. I don't know if it. You want to be glossed over because he's glossing over it,
Right?
He's not realizing the weight of his negative behavior, so the music isn't recognizing it either. Mm-hmm. So, and it, I mean, as far as like a moviegoer experience, it keeps it light and funner because the kid does enough funny things where you kind of look over how bad he's being. Like he says some joke and starts coughing, he starts choking on something, so Dad smacks him in the back. But like that scene is like funny. Like there's like little like
it's snowing.
Yeah, like he has like little one-liners and zingers like the kid does, and like like he was entertaining, but it like kept you from getting too. I guess it kept it light and not too harsh and distracted at Dad being like it wasn't a drama,
right?
It wasn't supposed to be a drama, and they kept it from being
I think that's
dramatic.
True. I was having a hard time putting my finger on what you were saying, but when you said it that way, I totally get it. It keeps it from being. This film is not a drama,
right?
There's dramatic things in here, and there's lessons to be learned, but it's the score keeps it real. Like this is still
it's a
bit of a fun
adventure.
ride. Yeah. That's cool.
I was just thinking of Peter as a pirate right from the get-go. Like Wendy says, Peter, you've become a pirate. But there's certain things that happen in the beginning. Like to blend in, he's got to dress like a pirate. And when he's walking by and Tink's telling him how to act, she's like, growl. He's like, how are you? Not bad, Roo. Not bad. Yeah. He's like, I say the same things to my coworkers every day. I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess. We're all pirates, apparently.
Rufio's one quote was like, you look like a pirate. He's like, all grown-ups are pirates, and we kill pirates.
But and then there's...
Like, but I'm a lawyer.
You're a lawyer!
Yeah.
But
nearsighted gynecologist.
One of the other little things I noticed too was Peter was introducing Wendy in the beginning for her stuff,
award or whatever, yeah.
And so he made the joke about scientists performing on rats.
Oh, I see.
No, lawyers instead of rats.
Yeah,
because there's some stuff even rats won't do.
That's right. Yep, that's right.
And then 5-10 minutes later, you got Smee, a man so deep he's almost unfathomable.
Yeah.
Coming up with these like lame jokes that fall flat with the audience. So a man so quick he's even fast asleep.
Fast asleep.
Man, Smee's awesome.
So and
then Smee's in the real world.
I feel
so
like
now I'm like, wait a minute.
I'm definitely a pirate because I found those jokes awesome. I'm like, man, Smee gets it.
So when he started off with critiquing hard about Peter's character, the one thought in my head was like, let's see if we can admit he's a pirate or not.
But the difference is being a pirate and then recognizing your priorities and not forgetting what made you who you are or what gave you your happy thought.
Well, and the thing is, too, is that in real talk, sometimes your sense of duty has to just trump your emotion. It's part of being a dad. Sometimes your sense of duty has to just win. This is what I have to do right now. Because your emotions will take you all over the place. And even if you know what's right and wrong, you get drawn emotionally, you know? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it has to just be, this is my role, this is my job right now. I need to be here. I need to be present. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't feel like it sometimes, even if you're like, this is what I need to do right now. This is definitely what the role is. And off the beaten path again, but I didn't want the episode to end without bringing up the idea that how much dads need to hear. I remember feeling it, like I said, when Rufio, is that his name? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I want to say Rufy. When Rufio, you should call him Groundies. Rufio says that about Wishes My Dad. I'm thinking, you can see how it hits Peter. But then I'm thinking to myself, that's why I was so emotional at that line, was I'm like, we need to hear that from our kids and from people to say, yeah, I'm glad you're my dad. You're doing a good job as my dad. You're doing it. Sure. If kids knew, and I have my dad still. Thankful we still all have our dads, and that's not a given. I mean, I know you guys are relatively young, but I know I'm not, and my dad's definitely feeling older, and it becomes more and more important for me to let him know that I'm glad that he's my dad. That all the time I want to make sure he knows that. And because I know how much valuable that is for me with my kids. I'm like, I don't know. I pretty much think the barometer's pretty good. I think they would say they're glad. But I'm like, when he says that to Peter, I'm thinking, you know what? That galvanizes Peter's change in his mindfulness to being like the dad role, the appropriate dad, the right kind of dad, and thoughtful dad and present dad. If anything, and not just when Jack sees it and starts reacting to it, but I could see Peter like in that moment, like, yeah, I don't feel like maybe I've always been worthy of you feeling that way, but right now I feel like, yeah, right, that's probably right.
Yeah.
And he sees Jack falling in line with it, saying, kind of like, I'm proud he's my dad, Yeah. And I remember in that moment watching it, I was like, why is this affecting me so much? But it's like, a whole men's mental health thing. This movie wasn't made right now. This movie was made decades ago.
Right. But
I think that it showed a lesson that is important now, even now, that, guys are tough and they're supposed to be tough providers and all this stuff. But if you want us to be all those other things too, you have to give us, you have to help us remember how important our role is too. You know what I mean? Like as a kid, I try to do that all the time because I don't want my dad to think, that it's taken for granted. And, almost like that episode of, you guys watch Modern Family, mm-hmm. where he's talking about his dad. My dad was so tough, I played the whole second half with a broken collarbone, and then we did this. And then, I got home that night, and she left me. And he said, get some sleep and forget about her. That's the kind of guy he was. He was a tough guy, He goes, I didn't even cry at his funeral, Yeah. But he knew how much I loved him. Then he goes, he had to know, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yep, and I'm like, that line stuck with me because I will leave no room for doubt. You know what I mean? With not only like with my dad, but like with my friends that are dads, to make sure that they know that there's no gap in there thinking, am I a good dad? Yeah, dude, the fact that you're asking if you're a good dad tells you already that you're probably on the right path. You care about it, that you want to do the job right. Mm-hmm. It's such a huge responsibility. So easy to screw up. I think I screw up more days than I hit the mark, but the effort, the daily effort, man, is there. And Your kids will be the ones that they'll be the judges that hold up the 10s or the 9s.
That it was, and
Just don't want the Russian judge.
that was part of it. Is, like I said, I'm the youngest father of the group, so it's you don't really know if you're doing a good job yet, and there's no one that can truly tell you until the kids are a little bit more grown and they can express how they feel with a clear mind, not just, oh, you didn't buy me that toy, so you're terrible.
Yeah.
Cookies, the best.
But there was a shot in there in the movie that I hadn't paid it much attention before, but when Hook tells him, yeah, just go up, climb, and touch their hands, and you're free.
Yeah.
And he's got to fight his fear of heights and climb the thing. And there's just this look that he's got in his eye where he knows he can't do it, and he's sweating. His eyes, he's just a mess up on this thing, and his kids are begging him, just try a little bit. And to him, he's trying what he can, and just this fear of disappointment in Peter's face. As the kids are just like, all you got to do is try.
Yeah.
And, what do you think I'm doing?
Yes, that's true. That was way too relatable. What do you think I'm doing right now? I got nowhere else to go.
So I guess that was another scene that stuck out that was like, oh, yeah, that hurts like it hadn't before.
Yes.
Yeah, because even later on in the movie, Jack's Hook's, trying to weave his web or whatever, and Jack's starting to cry, and he's just like, I was right there, and he didn't even try. I mean, he was right there. Like, he was all upset about it still.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh, he didn't even do anything. He didn't even try. Like, his glasses are hanging off his face like this.
All these pirates
trying to kill him. They're just trying to be killed by a mob of pirates.
That's right.
He could fall to his death.
He almost went to the boo box.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, by the way, the boo box.
That's weird, because that pirate is Glenn Close, right? Mm-hmm. She played that pirate.
Which pirate?
The boo box pirate.
The what? When he goes, someone doesn't belong here.
Yes.
He's like, you, and everyone's like, oh, and he walks
that
through the
Glenn
crowd,
Close.
and Robin Williams is right here, and he goes to Glenn Close. Yeah, he's dressed up in pirate attire.
What?
Yeah, here, I'll show you a picture.
Just didn't shave that day. That's
Oh my gosh. Remember what I said about movies and things flying right over my head? Glenn frickin' Close.
Close Hook.
So why did she do that? Why was she
Don't know.
in that role? Just day off? Wanted to hang out with... What the heck?
Yeah, right?
Why? She was established then.
It's a Spielberg movie, I guess.
That could have been distracting if I knew it was her. I don't need more distractions pulling away from the things.
You got that burly man screamed a little high pitched for going
Yes.
for going in the boo box.
All right, well, we'll start to wrap it up here. Tin Man, any other change in thoughts after our conversation tonight?
Yeah, I appreciate the movie a little more. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Because I'm like, I've seen enough of it, whatever. But, no, in its entirety. Like, I do want to see the movie again, and I want to watch it very particularly from the beginning. Next chance I get to see it whenever it's on, I'm going to try to watch it from the beginning.
Oh, nice.
But I do like the movie. I do like it more than I thought I was going to. I am a little harsh on him. But I think you need to be that harsh on him in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that all the steps that he makes are appreciated. Mm-hmm. Just like he's supposed to appreciate his past.
It's like good film. It's like good filmmaking. There's nothing to be redeemed from. Why should you even care about the journey?
Right.
I like how, because you had Peter that, he had bad qualities as the father, but it was like, all right, how do we ramp it up for Hook? Like, how can we make him evil, like laughably evil compared to Peter? Because he's going to have to be that much worse.
Like, ooh, that's got your work cut out.
He's like, oh, he just put a person in a box and put scorpions on him. Yeah, I guess that is worse. Kmax, any change in perceptions or any comments?
Yeah, tons. I mean, just tons. No kidding. There's just tons. Movies get by me. Big things get by me. I think maybe I did see those, and I think just my knee-jerk reaction of being so hard on him. It started that way, and it just kept me looking for evidence for that. Mm-hmm. I instead of saying, okay, I see why he's this way, and I see why he's got to go through this entire transformation, I was just looking for evidence to pile up against him saying, but dude, you could have done this, and you could have done that, and you know what I mean? And just really, really love Dustin Hoffman in this role more than pretty much anything he's ever done. Mm-hmm. I did not realize how freaking good he was in this.
Me and James watched it together, and we pointed out where he had to talk with Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
In the beginning, how she convinced him to give her 3 days to whip him into shape.
Mm-hmm.
And so he says it in very adult terms. I can't remember like the exact phrasing he uses. But he's like, speed translate. He's like, in 3 days we're going to have a war. A battle between good and evil.
Speed translate.
I wonder how much is ad-libbed when I see a role like that,
And as far as, because to me it wasn't so much like all of a sudden Peter is a good father. It was because he has the line, to live would be an awfully big adventure. Mm-hmm. So to me, it was like him opening the door to becoming a better father. Not so much like, oh yeah, I'm changed, don't worry.
Right,
it's kind
right.
of like, all right, let's
go
try
do
this
it
again. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, any other? I know you said you had tons. I don't know if
Well,
you want to
I know
share
that.
anymore.
I know that the way that he was decent because he was still honoring Grammy at the awards. He gave that wonderful speech, mm-hmm. and everybody stood for all the things that she meant to them, and even gave the credit of. And I'm gonna give him even more grace because he was a freaking orphan, and he didn't have parents, and he was a product of.
Well, he did, but they were talking on the park bench while he just rolled away.
Right. I mean, he just
he just rolled away.
Just rolled away. But I think of Grammy Wendy. I forgot that it was that actress, and I love her. Mm-hmm. It's my Harry Potter showing that just amazing, and even like Downton Abbey, she's just wonderful. And I think you guys said it. She looked older in this.
Yeah, she looked older in this, and then she did in.
But she was so great. She was so great. Back to Peter. I see now a little bit more of his redeemable qualities even early on. And you know what I mean? Than I did before because I don't think I wanted to see him. Mm-hmm. And his relationship with his kids, he's definitely distracted with work, but he's not doing it. He's doing it for himself. There's some ego there, but he's still providing. You know what I mean? He's still maybe doing what his version of an adult. He made that decision. I just think to myself, he made a decision to be a dad. That's why he gave up all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. And then to fall away from it so completely was a little head scratching to me. But people would probably say that about a lot of dads, Like, wait, you said you were doing this for this reason. Mm-hmm. It's probably why the movie has like a cult following because people got to relate to it on a better level than just the entertainment. That's how movies get a real deep cult following is people relate so closely with it, Anyway, that's a couple things that have changed.
He never says "my word is my bond" after I think it's the second time he says it. I'm sure he clearly is just not following up his.
I feel like by the end of it, he
doesn't
acting.
He's showing.
Yeah,
he's not using that as a crutch.
And quite frankly, that's all it ever is, right? I mean, your actions speak louder than any words.
Well, I mean, this is a new level we're unlocking, I feel like, but like, he's an attorney, and the way that attorneys work is through words, and by the end, he's just performing and acting, and that's what the kids are drawn to.
Yeah. I wonder if there's more scenes that weren't in the movie that were like cut for time or something like that. That would maybe give light to any of these ideas.
A 2.5 hour movie. Didn't feel like 2.5 hours though.
No, it didn't. It moved pretty good. It was well paced.
All right. Well, that was the third chapter in our fatherhood section of episodes. So,
And this one's episode...
This would be the 9th episode already.
Episode 9.
Just talking movies. Hopefully people are listening.
Yes.
Unlocking
We already have...
lenses to watch movies with.
Yeah.
Learn with me, folks.
Yeah.
Join and learn with me.
Well, it's
We're not
interesting because
the
it's
top
almost
tier
like we need 2 or 3 viewings. It's like, all right, here's one where you have no background. We talk, and then you watch it again. So it's the second one where you can watch it with different lenses.
Right.
But, I mean...
I like it when one of us has seen it once in the last 15, someone who's seen it twice, someone who's seen it 3 times, and then, you know.
I can't wait till we have some folks giving some, potential feedback and input to say, reflect on some of the things, because I think there's going to be a lot of people, to make me feel better, there's going to be a lot of people who watch films the way I watch films that are just like saying, yeah, I never saw that either. If I just see any comments that are just like, what the heck is this guy's, bro? Is he sleeping while he's watching that?
Well, it's interesting because, like, I'll ask people, like, hey, you want to watch this movie? Like, oh, no, I've seen it before. And, like, so that runs through my head as, like, I don't doubt you've seen it, but did you, like, watch it? Did you experience it? Like,
right.
I'm offering you another way to experience this movie.
Sometimes it's the company and the place. That's this one not working out. I do feel like I would probably watch it differently. And I think sometimes that's cooking the books also. If you watch it in a certain company.
Yeah.
If I watch a movie in the company of you and you love the movie, that's going to come out. And it's going to come out in my perception of the movie too. That might be unfair a little bit too.
It also depends on the movie too. Because if we're watching a fun comedy that we've seen before, we want to laugh at it.
Yeah.
But if we're looking at it like, okay,
wait till we
Corey
watch
picked this and wants to pick it
movies.
apart. We got a movie we're going to try to pick apart, and there's going to be a microphone in your face. So
Next
get your
week,
notepads.
Porky's.
Porky's is actually one of my favorite movie watching experiences.
That's awful.
Me and,
what was that noise? Why, James? Why would you do that?
You throw it at me all you want.
But it was like 2 other buddies at like midnight one night just put it on, and there's like a few points where it's just 10 minutes of us can't catch our breath laughing.
Oh, that's wonderful. Those are the best times.
It was like unexpected. She was like, hey, you want to watch Porky's? Yeah. All right. It was just kind of a surprise thing, and it's like like you could see like the light slowly draining from your eyes, about to faint because you haven't breathed from laughing.
Right. That's right.
Or like my head would hurt, and like all of a sudden it's like, oh, very serious. Like, oh, I gotta stop laughing.
That's right. That's right. You gotta make sure you're sitting somewhere if you pass out.
All right.
Maybe we have to do a comedy one of these times.
We will. Depends how dark you like your comedy, though. No, I'm kidding. We'll watch comedies.
It's going to be Teeth.
Kmax, you'd like Teeth.
Oh, my God.
Why me?
Oh, so you've seen it.
Seen it. I felt it.
I'll show myself out.
Kmax, if you could guess what Teeth is about, what would be your wild guess?
Dentists, of course.
No. I want you to feel. Not think logically.
Okay.
Feel. If I were to show you a movie and it's called Teeth, what do you think Vozly would be showing you?
It's worse than you think.
No, it's not.
Okay,
Feel
okay.
it.
It's
So, okay, all right. Listen. I can connect
Not
with
if you're
this.
feeling it right.
Right. No, I'm telling you right now, if Voz is saying it, and we're still recording.
We're in our 20th ending of this episode.
Right. But like Teeth, it's going to be a horror movie.
Okay, see, he's feeling it.
Well, I mean, it's you, so
His metachlorians are active.
so Teeth. It's going to be about either maybe vampires.
Oh,
got
I
it.
really wasn't going to get it. It's way worse than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
Zippers?
Oh, now you're getting closer.
you're getting closer.
Is it porn? Are we going to watch porn together?
That's closer.
One at a time. No,
Now you.
No, you bring your quarters.
We're watching this one on small screens.
all right. Here's the ongoing thing for right now. Anyway, we'll give Kmax a couple weeks. We'll ask again what he thinks Teeth
Oh my gosh,
is
it's gonna
about.
hook it up.
And I will not Google it.
Oh man.
Teeth. Oh, Dr. Teeth from the Muppet Band.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
That's for you kids out there.
This is your
For you kids, yeah.
this is you thinking and not feeling.
You're
No.
closer with zippers.
No. Who are you? Not what you do. We all know what you do. Who
That's your name.
I just
are
wanna-
you?
I just want you
Not
to
your
tell
name,
us
just
who you are.
Yeah, that's what we want to know.
Also, not what you do.
Can you see my eyes blinking? I'm getting defensive.
Yeah.
What are you asking for, Corey?
What do you?
You want the Tin Man to tell you who you are.
Do you want the Tin Man to tell you how to feel?
All right.
I'm gonna be the Tin Man, aren't I? Just
That's the best name ever, by the way.
Oh yeah, did we ever?
I
I don't think you explained.
so. It's a phrase I heard from old time cops, but they would say, "Hey, did you tin him?" So that means like you show your badge because new badges are made out of tin.
Oh, you tin him?
Yeah, like you show them the tin.
Yeah.
because your badges are made out of tin.
Oh, I got you.
They used to be called coppers, not because they were cops, but because the badges used to be made out of copper.
Oh my gosh.
So cops is just a nickname, is a shortened for the coppers because their badges are made out of copper.
Mind blown.
And the only reason I heard the Tin Man phrase is from Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Last
His name was
Action Hero?
Jack Slater. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Last Action Hero. His character's name was Jack Slater.
Oh yeah.
But he knocks on the door. He's like, "Can I speak to the drug dealer of the house?" And the guy opens, goes like, "Okay, give me a second." Goes, and the guy answers the door, and he's like, "Who's asking?" Shows up the badge and goes, "The Tin Man."
Oh, I got you.
So that's I
So,
thought it was funny
even
that you guys
our
mentioned
nicknames have layers.
I was gonna say this is
on
good.
this show.
that. I'm like, huh, well, that's interesting.
All right. For real, this is the end of this episode. See you next time.
Love you guys.